welcome back to the Experience Podcast. It's again just me this week, and this is the final. This is the wrap up, the finale, if you will, for episode 20, the meta episode. And it's the only episode that I've never been on. I have listened to it. I listened to it a long time ago. So this is the first time I listened to it since I edited it. I edited, tough word to say, um, back in November 2018. So it's been a long time, and it's pretty good. You know what? I keep saying this every time that I do one of these commentaries. But these early episodes, they're not terrible. They are actually pretty decent. As the guests in this episode referred to, if you listened to the commentary last week, they said that the podcast is legit, and I would agree. It is legit. It's a thing. It sounds like we're joking, and Connor is really hard to tell, right? We both have great deadpans and all that, but yeah, it's legit, and we're gonna finish this up. We're right around the 33-minute mark, almost at 34. Tanner's talking about how he's in band, so yeah. But yeah, we're gonna. This is part three, so we'll be wrapping this up here. Let's get right into it.
Did you do like I saw like a bunch of people in bed were doing the Stranger Things being like extras because they needed like marching band people.
Yeah. That was Saturday. That was yesterday. I didn't do it because I don't remember. I think someone in the band group chat posted that you'd have to drive there, and then they often like filmed until like 2 in the morning, and it was like a pain in the ass or something like that.
Wasn't right off the bat. I remember this. Stranger Things was looking for like marching band members, and someone posted it in like our band group chat, like, "Hey, you guys, Stranger Things." The problem is, and the reason, and I'm echoing what Tanner's saying here. Yeah, it's a long day shoot. There's no guarantee your face will even be in it anyway, and it was kind of far away. Like you had to get to it, and a lot of us didn't have cars because we were going to school in Atlanta. So, and Stranger Things doesn't really. They say they shoot in Atlanta. It's really not Atlanta. It's like outside Atlanta, like an hour or so outside Atlanta. So you have to like get there. Um, I think it was a weekend. I'm pretty sure it was. Ooh, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a weekend, but yeah, it didn't work out for. I don't know if anyone. I think someone actually did do it. I'm trying to remember if that's true or not. But yeah, okay. Anyway, let's get back in.
I see.
So I was like, it's not worth it, even to be on Stranger Things season 3, personally. And I think they also were full on trumpets. Like they needed weirder instruments like piccolos. They already had all the brass and whatnot.
I see.
So that's why I'm not on Stranger Things season 3.
Yeah.
Wow, you just gave up your one chance at fame.
Yeah, you did.
I
You could have like worn an
could've been
Experience
the star.
podcast shirt.
Pull it down.
Uh-huh.
Put it in the background. You have this extra going crazy. and
Uh-huh,
the
QR
director's like,
code.
we can't use that cut.
escorted off the
Who is this
premises.
clown?
Mhm.
Okay, yeah. I just have that's funny, a barcode. Shirt. We need merch.
We need merch.
That's why.
That's why we're not famous. Is because we don't have merch.
That is
Honestly?
Yeah.
I'd buy a t-shirt.
You buy an Experience? Would you buy an Experience podcast T-shirt
I mean, if it came with a rock.
if it came with a
If it
rock?
came
It's true, the
Wow.
rocks are key.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Did you ever watch like iCarly?
Yes.
I
They like the
did.
penny tees. You should have like rock tees. Like you remember the penny tees? Like they had like
tape
pennies on
on,
the
yeah.
sleeves.
I don't remember that. How do you remember that? That was like a decade ago.
I have like very niche memory.
We'll have to-
Wasn't here. I have very niche memory as well. I don't remember that. Wow. It kind of sounds familiar, but I can't put my finger on it. And going on the merch thing, guys, if you want merch, just let me know. Leave a comment and say you want some merch. I've kind of tried to do it, but it would have to be worth it, right? The merch would have to be worth it. You guys would have to buy it. So anyway, back in the podcast.
to do that. We'll have to have rock shirts.
Rock shirts.
We'll hot glue them on.
Or platinum subscriber. It rocks.
It rocks with an X instead of CKS because it's cheaper.
Yes. We save money.
This letter.
Also, it's edgier.
It's
Yes,
edgier.
way.
And then we can have the QR code and rocks too.
Made of little rocks?
Made of, like little pebbles and like glue them on.
I think the QR code's on the back.
Yeah.
That intern really has like his work cut out for him.
Yeah, he'll be busy.
I mean, I've experienced creating t-shirts.
You
Honestly.
want to be? Would you like to? I have an offer for you. And hear me out.
I'm interested.
We need someone for the Experience podcast. What we want to do is we want to have T-shirts with rocks spelling out the Experience podcast, and on the back, what we want to do is have a QR
for
code
the Experience podcast.
in rocks. Would you be able to do that?
I'm thinking.
Okay.
If you print a QR code
Mhm.
on a T-shirt, will it actually be scannable? I mean, you have to have high enough quality
Yeah.
to print it so that it's actually scannable. But
Yeah, you know what, Tanner? That's actually a good question. If anyone knows, like, could you put a QR code on a t-shirt? I would assume you can. But yeah, they're very sensitive to the resolution. Like, you really need to. The QR codes are a little tricky. If you know, leave a comment. Oh, I'm asking you guys, please leave these comments. Let us know. Let's see if anyone left a comment on this. No, they didn't. But let's keep going.
that's expensive.
That is
I
expensive.
wonder. So I wonder if like conventional T-shirt
Mm-hmm.
makers would allow that. I don't
We
know.
just like
Something-
post
that's
like,
something
the
an
whole
engineer
URL
would figure
out.
out.
You can like type it in. Would that
Post
be
the
better?
entire URL HTTPS. Like that.
Just wrapping around the shirt.
Yes.
That might be an
In like
aesthetic.
really small font too, so you have to like walk up close.
We need to put all our money in hiring like a professional designer.
Mm-hmm.
Like that makes it look like an actual good shirt.
Yeah.
And it becomes one of those like shirts that you see Justin Bieber wear or something like
So
that.
it looks like a brand,
Yes, it looks like
Oh.
the Experience brand.
Experience brand. It's actually a podcast. And our logo is a QR code. So, is this a good idea?
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you guys buy
I
shirts
see no
Yeah.
flaws.
for the Experience
Yeah.
podcast just to say that you've been on the podcast?
Mm-hmm.
To say that I've been on the podcast, like a special T-shirt is like I was on the Experience
Oh, yeah.
podcast.
Oh,
we,
Yes.
we need those too.
I
We
would
don't
miss
have a
that.
whole lot
I
of money at the moment.
experienced the Experience podcast.
That's
I
true.
Oh,
that would be
that's
good.
a good idea.
Wait, so do you call it a podcast? Do you call it a pod? Do you call it a cast?
We call it a podcast.
Podcast.
Okay.
Well, I think we gotta start calling it a cast for our younger audience. For our 6-year-old that listens.
We have a 6-year-old.
We have one 6-year-old that listens. Like theoretically,
Uh-huh.
it's sort of like Schrodinger's box. Like we just got, like we don't know if the 6-year-old is there or not. So like he's there.
Uh-huh.
Assume.
I thought it was an actual 6-year-old that we knew. That was like your brother, or your cousin, or
I have a
something.
brother.
I
thought you
thought it
knew
was
Tanner.
someone. I thought we actually had a 6-year-old. They told
No.
me I couldn't really like swear and stuff
Yeah, well,
because there was an
For
actual
the 6-year-old, because
6-year-old listening.
even though you did.
Pausing here. Add another. What's this thing? Add another drop in the bucket. Add another instance where Tim gets confused and is gullible to something Connor says. Oh, it happens all the time, and I kind of feel bad, but also like that's just the dynamic that we do. All right, let's keep going.
I have sweared.
So that 6-year-old is
sometimes.
kind
So yeah, the
of grown up
6-year-old.
now.
Uh huh.
But-
But I was convinced we actually did have a 6-year-old listener.
So we do and we don't.
We
Well-
do and we don't.
It is Schrodinger's box though.
Yeah, Schrodinger's
Mhm.
box, but with a podcast. Yeah. So that's what we need to do. We need to have. What was I saying? What do we need to have?
T-shirts
We have T-shirts.
for people on the podcast and just like regular cool T-shirts that can get promoted easily.
Yes, that's an idea. How much do T-shirts cost?
Depends on how many you order.
If you buy in bulk, yeah.
We buy them books, so we can have like a ton of T-shirts, and we'll
And
give
just
them
pass
out
out T-shirts.
at Tech Green.
But you know how expensive that is? I mean, everyone loves free stuff.
I mean, with that Blue Apron, like
We need
commission.
Oh,
actual
we got that Blue Apron
before
sponsorship.
we could do the T-shirt idea.
Yeah, so that's money right there. That's what that's like a quarter of a T-shirt with the money we got from Blue Apron.
This is hard. How do you grow an audience? I'm sure there's actual like podcast about growing your podcast audience that we actually.
I was
need
gonna
to
say this is the
listen
only podcast that I've ever like listened to that talks about the podcast so much.
to. Oh, it's a meta
Yeah,
podcast.
it's a meta podcast.
It's just a stream of conscious podcast.
Yeah.
I think.
It's like a waterfall of conscious. Like it's not even a stream anymore. It's
It's
just
a
like
waterfall.
so in like nothing of your mind.
Uh huh.
Yeah, we talk a lot about nonsense
Hmm
and stuff like that. What do you guys think of the experience so far?
Yeah. Is this a good experience?
Yeah.
Okay.
Overall positive.
Yeah.
Do you think it's something that could be on WREK?
Pausing here. They did not sound that enthusiastic. Yeah, yeah. My question: have you guys enjoyed your experience? Yeah. Maybe I know why they didn't come back. Oh my God, there is just this fly on my monitor, and it's driving me crazy here. Man, it says one fly. I talked about this before. Maybe not on air, but there's always like, and I don't think it's the same fly, but there's always one fly, not a bunch, just one fly around my desk, which doesn't make any sense. There's no food or anything around here, so I don't know why. My desk is very far away from any sort of food or uh, any reason for the fly to be over here, but it's always just one fly. I mean, I guess I'm near a window, so maybe there's like a crack somewhere or something that it's getting through, and it just ends up. But I don't know. It's attracted to, I guess, the light from my screen, and yeah, there's always just one fly. But I'm getting off track. Let's get back to the episode.
Yeah, you are our in.
This is a networking opportunity.
Yeah, this is networking.
Because that's honestly one of my
Your dreams.
One of my dreams is to have like a podcast
A real
on
podcast.
WREK,
Mhm.
like a late night 3 a.m. on a Thursday night, like no one listening.
While
dead
people are in like
hour.
cookouts.
Well,
there's
people are
someone
in
there.
It's like, hey, listeners, and then I just start talking like that. It's just me.
Mhm.
Do you think I could do that possibly?
I think it might be possible because atmospherics are weird, and I don't know how many people listen to them.
Yes.
So we need to like talk to your manager and be like, no one likes atmospherics, but everyone likes the experience.
There's
Ah.
like
Is
dozens
We
of
already have
listeners.
experience with
Yeah,
like, talking and being a radio personality,
true.
I think. So, you think I can get promoted
Yeah.
really quickly in the station?
Yeah, we could be like, it could just be like a 5-minute combo. Just get like, we should have a 24-hour
We approach them,
episode.
what can you guys do for
Yeah.
us? We run a podcast. It's pretty successful.
It's pretty big.
Is there like a manager?
Yeah. I would email
Is it a
them
student
first.
manager?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So it's not some big cat Hollywood
No.
executive who's gonna sign us.
No.
Sadly, no.
It's just some
Okay.
small cat. Hollywood
Small
executive.
cap. Atlanta executive.
Yeah, not a Hollywood.
No.
So we do that. We need to do. I think that's how we get famous. We'll do a live stream on YouTube of the podcast for 24 hours.
Okay. We could do that. I like that option.
Is that a good idea?
24 hours.
Yeah.
Just the two of you, or
Sure.
We might bring up some. We'll have switching in guests.
Rotating guests.
Rotating guests.
That could be a fun event.
Yeah.
Oh, 24-hour live stream
Uh huh.
on Twitch, you say?
I don't know. Both. We could do both YouTube and Twitch.
every
Okay.
live you can possibly do. Facebook, Instagram, Twitch,
Instagram
YouTube.
We could do
Live.
everything.
Okay.
Instagram Live for our 3
Three
followers.
different angles. Boom, boom. This, I mean, I like the idea of
Yeah.
it, but we currently don't have the viewership.
No, we also don't have the cameras,
We also don't have the cameras.
and that might be important.
Just line up iPhones.
I mean, we
should
could
stream
line
it.
up like phones and stream it like that.
Okay.
It's pretty easy
Yeah.
to actually stream, but we just don't have the live audience participation that's kind of needed
Mhm.
in one of those things, unless we really got the word out. I
Yeah.
feel like that's that's an end of the year event
Yeah.
because at this rate we're projected to
We'll grow very rapidly.
grow very rapidly.
Like 100,000 followers in like
100,000 followers
an hour.
an
That's
hour.
exponential.
Yes,
Mhm.
really.
I think. I mean, we made 2 followers yesterday, and we were at 1 follower before.
Okay, so
You're
that's
all-
a
So at this
100%
rate-
increase.
I'll increase.
Mhm.
I'll hit it.
Do some math.
Wow. And we follow back and like
Thank
back
you.
and.
That's
comments.
a 400% increase.
That's
since
a 400.
yesterday.
So yeah, we're just extreme rise.
Look at this.
Mhm.
Thank you. But once we get the word out, I feel like the radio, like doing a radio show, doing like a podcast on WREK would be pretty fun,
Uh-huh.
right? If we showed them maybe like an example of the experience podcast.
How many people actually listen to WREK? Like, do you have stats on that?
I know how many people listen to my show online.
You do?
Wow.
Yes. About 40 in the evening and
Okay.
30 in the morning. But then I don't know how many people listen on the radio. We have to pay the FCC to find that out. And
Oh, really? That's too expensive?
yeah, we're not paying.
How does the FCC find that out?
They're in
Radio
charge
waves
of
and-
everything.
But like, I feel like a radio, like it's off the grid, isn't it?
FCC is the radio.
No.
But like, how? Like, if you turn on your radio, like, how would they?
How would they know?
How would they know?
How do they? The government's watching.
The
us,
government's
man.
watching,
It's your
guys.
Big Brother.
Mhm.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not an engineer. I couldn't figure
Do you guys have any like segments or anything?
it out. We bring.
We
in-
have Dr. Tanner.
Yes.
We have Dr.
That's-
Tanner segment. We have. That's about it.
Yeah,
That's the only segment we've
we
ever
should
had.
bring in like segments and make like basically our Carly, but for WREK.
Oh yeah.
It's just like a bunch of random, like we bring the
Yeah,
soundboard.
we like bring in like
Okay.
our best clip, like a best 5-minute
Yes.
clip from the episode,
Uh-huh.
and like send it in. It could be like an ad on WREK.
Yes. How do we advertise on WRK?
Yeah. Can we do that?
Yeah, you can do that. I don't know how to do that, but there's someone who's in charge of getting outside advertising. So yes.
So we could like do a clip and be like, if you want to hear more of this, go to https://
I wasn't here, and obviously they're joking, but I'm a little upset that we never explored that avenue. That kind of because obviously, I mean, I did listen to this episode, but maybe to the whole thing. I'm trying to remember. I think I did listen to the whole thing. Why I didn't talk to Connor about that? Like, we could have actually pushed they're talking about WREK, which is rec radio. It's Georgia Tech, like student radio, basically. I'm surprised that she was getting like 40 to 30 listeners online, which is pretty good. Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm a little upset that we never explored that avenue. We never tried to push that advertising avenue. Um, Again, I'm going back to campus. Maybe I'll find a way to get on there. There were opportunities to make this even more official, but now that I'm graduated, it's a lot harder. But maybe someday, if we can build our audience back up, then I think we'll try something. Yeah, let's get back into it. We got about 10 minutes left of this episode, so let's keep going.
Yeah.
Give the whole thing out.
Or just say like scan the QR code.
I like
Over
the
radio.
idea. I like the idea.
Yeah.
If we can really grow it. I feel like I have some good ideas to bring to the podcast, and I think you guys should
What
maybe.
good ideas do you have?
Well,
You gotta talk to the marketing department, man.
I got
We
some-
need a marketing.
Yes.
What do you guys think we should do, marketing wise?
Marketing wise,
Yeah.
I think just follow a bunch of people on Instagram, and then I guess the flyering, just like following with the flyers. That seems like it's going pretty well. But
We are at like a dozen to a baker's dozen.
Is
So
it
must
actually?
be. I don't know what it is.
I thought it was way higher.
It is. Well, it depends on what you're on. YouTube, we're not doing too high.
Oh, if you look
You're
on
on
YouTube,
YouTube?
We're on YouTube.
are you in like YouTube, Spotify?
We're not on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Google Play. We're on podcast.com.
Mm-hmm. That's the main one.
That's the main one. I think that's it.
On YouTube, what is the image?
It's
It's
our
just
logo,
the logo, the
Yeah.
blue one right there.
which
Mhm.
our host Denial
Dan.
made.
Daniel.
Amazing.
That looks very professional.
Isn't it?
Yeah, we're not very experienced graphic
No, we need-
designers.
It's styled minimalism.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Okay.
That's what you
That's
tell
what we're
people.
going for.
Yes.
That's our logo.
Mhm.
It's styled minimalism.
But I was saying I think we have to do like something. That's not good. Technical difficulties here.
Uh-oh. No, it's going to Dixie! Oh, shit. Oh, God.
Okay, we gotta.
I don't know what happened.
So you just went into
input.
REM.
Input.
So you just went into REM sleep.
Okay, we'll be back.
Oh, please,
And
God.
we're live.
It's still breathing.
You still
It
breathing?
says the computer's still on.
Alright, we're good.
Okay, we're still good.
Yeah.
We're good.
Cool.
Crisis averted. The TV
Yeah.
just turned off. Now it's back on. Okay. Wow.
That
was kinda scary.
That was a
Honestly,
spooky one.
What
We
do you think
almost
was gonna
lost
happen?
46 minutes. Like it wouldn't have saved this sound bit. I thought the whole the computer was going to sleep.
That was
Close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So next semester, I'm thinking about joining WREK.
Okay.
You could join as well, and we could have a little maybe segment or something like that. Late night, 3 a.m. Because I feel like that's probably the easiest to get,
Probably.
and I think that would be pretty fun.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Let's do it.
Okay.
You'd have
You'll
to-
see us. You'll see us next.
Is it
semester.
is it possible to get a segment like your first semester in,
No, you have to train your first semester.
the entire first semester?
Yes.
even if you like say please?
Yes.
Like it's,
Really?
Yes.
Oh man. What if we show them that we have experience
yeah.
with
We can show them like the
recording? We set this whole thing up. It was.
Yeah.
Wow.
So do you get trained to run the actual like station, like turning knobs and like pushing levers, or
Basically, yeah.
is it actually that?
There's a lot of buttons that you have to push. like
Really?
sliders and stuff.
Wow, sliders.
How do you get trained? So how do you get trained? I didn't know they made you actually press buttons. I thought it was like 24/7 like live stream and they just have it on play.
They do have that for if there's nobody in the studio. It like they have stuff that automatically plays. But if you're there, you have to like mix the sound and like choose which CD is gonna play.
CD.
Because we have like physical CDs.
Really?
Yeah, we have records too.
I miss
Really?
CDs.
Yeah, I like to burn CDs. I used to do that all the time
Really?
in high school.
I remember I bought. Do you remember when Lana Del Rey's first album came out? Oh my
Yes.
god! I made my mom drive me to Target. I was 12. I made her drive me to Target. I bought the CD, and on the way home, she's like, "Oh, pop it in, and we can give it a listen." It goes in like it's like songs about like old men and like cocaine.
course.
And my mom's face, she was just like so upset.
Mm-hmm.
I do remember big CD releases. They're always super exciting. You had to get the deluxe one of
Yes.
everything.
And you would open up like the paper part at the front and like look at all the lyrics and like all
Yeah.
that. I miss that era.
Good times.
Hmm.
I never had CDs.
No?
I was never a CD. Well, because I never bought music, so it was all like just going on YouTube and then like going to YouTube.mp3.com.
Yes, that's what I
and
did
then, like
too.
converting it.
Oh.
And then,
I mean,
Yeah.
I wasn't like hardcore enough. I just paid my $1.29 and went
Mhm.
on.
wow, yeah.
Remember when Tumblr, someone posted that if you hit F12 on any music thing, then you go to the files, you could like find the MP3 file and just save it from there. But they've changed it since then. I tried recently, just like for old memes. But yeah, it is no longer there.
do you ever put like any like just like go rogue and like play just some like wild songs on your radio station, or just like you keep it pretty?
I guess at nighttime I can play really whatever I want because I have a specialty show.
Mm-hmm.
So I have like free reign over what we play, just as long as it's like within the genre of the show, which is cool. But then in the morning it's classic music, like classical music, and I
Yeah.
would feel weird playing weird music during classical music
Tekashi
hours.
69. Yeah.
Just really throw off the entire vibe.
What do you play during the night show?
It is girl rock.
Girl rock, like girl, like GRL, like the band, or
No, like GRI. I already forgot how to spell.
GRIL, grill rock.
Yes.
Girl,
Mhm.
it's like a
Grill rock.
Yes.
I'm a real grill, and here's my rock band.
girl
Really?
girls.
That's really good.
Yes.
So, what time is your show, and,
It
and
is-
when is it for the listeners?
For the listeners,
plug.
Sure.
Personal
Tuesdays
plug.
at 7 p.m.
Tuesdays at 7 p.m.
91.1 FM.
Hogner, she's if anyone's trying to listen now, I'm sorry, but she's probably graduated. See, this was 6. But I encourage you if you are still Georgia Tech, you should listen to. Well, let's see, let's make sure Rick Radio still exists. But if you are there, I encourage you to. Yep, it's still there. 91.1 FM. I encourage you to check it out. They do a lot of great work there. Look at that. Girl rock is still a thing there. So you can still listen. So yeah. Okay, let's get back into it. While I look at we're gonna keep listening while I look at the Rec Radio website.
When's the Surf Rock show?
I have no idea.
That's honestly my favorite show on the station. It's no wait, I remember. It's well, 2 years ago it was after 9 p.m. It was at 9 p.m. on like Monday and Wednesday. I remember that because I had marching band practice on Monday and Wednesday of senior year of high school,
Mhm.
and it would always end at 9. And I'd turn on the radio station and drive home, and I'd feel like a badass listening to like. Sorry,
Yeah.
I mean.
Now I'm
just-
picturing it right now. I can
like Surf Rock would be like, yeah, getting pumped at like 9 o'clock in the evening when I
Mhm.
should be going home and doing homework. I don't know. It always brightened my day, even though it's the end of my day.
What's up?
Yeah.
I feel like
So-
radio's like coming back. Like everyone has a podcast now.
It's true.
It is true.
Podcasts are in.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Podcasts.
Podcasts
Are in.
Having a podcast
Yeah.
makes you cool. It's a personality
Hey,
trait.
it is.
It's like if you introduce yourself. Can I say like that is my one fun fact? Like
Yeah.
I'm on a podcast.
That's how you're marketing now.
Pretty frequently. Hi, my name is Tanner. I'm a second-year industrial engineer, and I'm on a podcast.
You have a podcast.
Oh, it's like your elevator pitch at Career Fair.
Yeah.
I'm on
Should
a
definitely
podcast.
say that.
Yeah, no big deal.
It's like
Dozens of listeners.
Mhm.
Baker's dozens of
Baker
listeners.
does.
Baker's dozens of
dozens
listeners.
of
It's like being like the professional like level of a SoundCloud rapper. It's like you have a podcast, like wow,
It's like is it a step up?
it's a step
from-
up. I would say because if you tell people you're a SoundCloud rapper,
I mean, you say SoundCloud artist. That
SoundCloud
usually
artist.
means you don't have a really big following.
Mhm.
Kind of like us, but we're like a SoundCloud artist, but of like podcast. I think, as in, we don't have a huge following, but we still try.
I got you a new listener.
really.
We did, yeah.
I just sent someone. I was like, I'm on a podcast now.
On a
And they're like,
podcast.
where can I listen?
hmm
Well, it's not live, so unfortunately, I can't listen until
Well,
Next Tuesday.
well, said where can I
Yeah.
subscribe?
Yes.
They're gonna
Where can they
subscribe.
subscribe?
Okay, Apple, you know,
Apple.com
iTunes. Is it iTunes? iTunes Store?
iTunes.com.
Or isn't there a podcast app?
There's a
Like
podcast
a
app.
separate podcast
Mhm.
app. Google Play. You can tell them all these avenues.
Yeah,
where
every
they
single one.
listen.
Tell
Make
them
sure they
YouTube,
listen frequently. too.
Podcast.com.
yeah.
hmm
We
YouTube
really need to get
podcast.com.
the word out. So if you guys could share with your friends and show them this podcast.
Or not. You don't have to.
It's a free country. Yeah, it is a free country, so
Yeah.
we can't force you to do anything. But it would help us a lot.
Uh-huh.
I think what we need to do, we need to like get like 5-minute segments of just like of just like the best
Funny
stuff.
sound clips. Like
Yeah, of each episode.
I mean, listening back to the Dr. Tanner segment,
That was
it
a-
wasn't that funny.
What
Recording
is Dr. Tanner?
Dr.
You
just saying
a
mentioned
bunch
it and
of-
then you
Yeah.
turned
I
into something
was
else.
just saying a bunch of nonsense about.
Well, you were
like,
giving. Should we demonstrate the
measuring-
bonus skin score?
No, it was
You
just,
don't want to demonstrate the bonus skin score?
Yeah, no, I don't. It's
Okay.
kind of
Well,
embarrassing.
he made up like
Your
the,
stream of conscious. I'm like, well, you can measure the your skin, like just trying to be like in points, and just the toughness of skin. I don't really know. I was like, just kind of blabbering and
yeah. It was decent. It was decent content.
I think we were all trying to like stifle laughter. It was honestly really funny in the moment, but then I listened back on it and I don't know. I don't think people got it because they weren't there in the. I think it'd be funnier if you were there in the room,
Which is why we need the camera.
which is why we need a camera. Yes.
So I'll bring my DSI next podcast and record. And we good.
Okay. Any closing remarks?
Any closing remarks? Shout outs?
Shout outs.
Any more sponsors?
Shout out your Instagram page if you want.
My Instagram page? Okay, a little plug. Follow me, Macy W. Wade, on Instagram. I'm trying to up my ratio.
Respectable. And Alex is doing okay. That is OK, not OKAY.
I love that.
Yeah, it's my brand. On every
So
social
friend Alex is
media.
doing okay.
Every social media.
That should be, if you had a podcast, that'd be a good podcast.
I
name.
have a bracelet,
Yeah.
actually, doing okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, plug
Okay.
Bitch and Bracelets.
Yes, bitch and
Bitch and
bracelets on
bracelets.
Instagram. My
Do you
friend
make?
Yes.
Okay.
No, my friend, she makes beaded bracelets with little words and phrases on them.
What does
Super
it say?
cool.
High bitch energy.
Dumb bitch energy.
Dumb bitch
Wow.
energy.
I have
I
one
need
coming. It
that.
says choke me on the choker.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Huh.
I need that.
Okay.
Get
Well-
delicious.
Yeah, I'll get delicious. I'll run with
Perfect.
that.
Well, I'm gonna end it here.
That's the podcast.
And that's it. That's the podcast. So that's episode 20, the Met episode. Again, better than I remembered it. I didn't remember pretty much any of it. But as we were kind of going through it, I was like, oh yeah, that sounds familiar, that sounds familiar, and all that. They our guests, Alex and Macy, were great, and they were absolutely correct. They talked a lot about the podcast itself. But you know what? Sometimes that's just where the conversation goes, and we're very free flowing. This was I mean, it's still a comedy show, but it was sort of our first dip. Well, I shouldn't say that because I did do an interview episode, but like you can see how the podcast is starting to evolve from just straight like Connor and me going back and forth trying to tell jokes to like, okay, let's do a little more stream of consciousness, like talking about what's going on and a little more serious, I guess, in a way. Of course, I'm reading the title of the next episode. It's called "Why Do People Get Hickeys?" So we don't say that serious. So yeah, this was it. This was the commentary. I'm trying to see if you guys have any suggestions for which one to do next. Go ahead. I have an inkling. I have an idea for one to do next. Because I'm kind of my hints pretty well is I'm trying to do like all the firsts, the first time someone's on. I try to capture that. And actually, I'm trying to remember when one person was on. I think they might have been on in that episode. Um, because getting them when they're first on is I feel like a good idea because it's sort of their introduction to the podcast, and you get to it's your introduction to our listeners. If you haven't met these people, I have a lot of great people in my life. So, um, anyway, that's this episode. Don't forget to subscribe and tell people about the podcast. Leave comments for the things that I was asking comments about. I don't remember what they were, but you remember. You can listen back. And that's it. That's the show.